Well, I'm going to start by taking this very comfortable jail seat that I can no longer use, and I'm going to cannibalize it and remove these bolts and try to make my own two-padded comfort seat. So let's see how it goes. So I'm going to start with these nuts here and loosening them. It's a little bit difficult to get this adjustable wrench in the springs, but with a little bit of work it seems to be coming out pretty good. I have a large screw here in the center that I need to loosen. So I have this skeleton off here. This is the part I really need because it connects to the post, and this spring will be nice because it will give a little bounce to my ride. So I'm going to go ahead and go through here. I'll use this lead pencil, and there are two places here where we can put a bolt through this pipe. So I'll go ahead and trace those spots. See, I've got a spot right there and a spot right here, and I'm going to go ahead and drill a hole through there. I'm going to start by drilling a smaller size through here. Put a little oil on. Everything's tightened down. Turn on the power. Now I've cut a couple of patterns out that I'm planning to make as little seats where my cheeks sit on the seats, giving me relief in the center. And then I have some of this old cabinet plywood, and I'm going to plan to trace these and cut these out on my bandsaw. Now I want to get two of these pads identical, so the way I'm going to do it is I'll line up this edge. I got a good straight edge there. I'll trace around it, and then after I trace around it, I'm going to open this up. You'll notice I have this tape here. I'm going to put some super glue here, and then I'm going to put some super glue accelerator over here. And then I'm going to take these two and put them together. And push down, count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And these are stuck together good enough to cut out my parts. Nice clamp down. Take my finishing router, line it up. Flip it around and do the other side. So you can see I have round edges on the outsides of these two, so I can take this, let's see if I can find the little seam, pull it apart, go like this. Pull all my tape off. And I have two identical pieces. And these are going to go, hopefully, right here and here. We'll see. This is just a prototype, but I'm pretty happy with the way it turned out. But I like the action here. It has a spring action, and one of each of my cheeks will touch here. My problem right now is this is very slippery. I've got to get some padding on here, but I'm interested to see how this works. I'm really happy the way this is turning out. You can see my symmetry is in there again, and I'll show you the underside. With this pipe, it has a lot of strength. Everything looks nice and tight. Now what I want to do, I noticed when I test rode it, you have to be careful because this spring action allows this thing here to come up and poke you right in the butt, so that's not so good. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to make some alterations by taking and cutting this piece of metal off right here. And then I'm going to take these rubber leg tips and put them on each side, so when the spring comes down it can bottom out on this rubber material. And then I want to take this pipe insulation. You can see I'm grabbing every piece of junk I have in my garage, but I'm going to use that for the pad on there. And then I found some old Naugahyde, and I'm going to try and wrap that over the top, and I have a seat cover that I pin down on the bottom. So the next thing I'm going to do is pull these bolts out, disassemble it, do my upholstery work, and then come back and put it together again with my bumpers in place. Let's go for it. I was going to use this pipe insulation as padding, but I have this seat that has this gel foam in it, and I'm going to see if I can scavenge it and put it on here and put upholstery over it. So we'll see what happens. So these are nice big cheek pads. And I'll trim them off and make them the right size, and I think that'll be just great. Now I've cut the end of this seat horn off. I took and turned this on a lathe and drilled a hole into it, and what I'm going to do is just compression fit it into this rubber leg like that. Pound it in a little bit more until I get it all the way down. And then I'm going to take some glue and I'm going to glue it like that. I'm going to glue one on each side, and that will be the bumper underneath my pad. Well, here's my finished product, and I did a terrible job upholstering, but I don't think that's going to matter for comfort. I have some nice gel seats here, and you can see I have a spring action working, and I have these bumpers here that will stop it from going too far. I drilled holes in there and put epoxy in there, and they're glued on. And so you can see this is a really tacky job. Please excuse the pun, of upholstering this down. But that's what it looks like right now, and I'm anxious to test it, but it's pouring rain outside, so I'll have to wait a little while. Well, you can see here I have a lot of movement, but I think that will dissipate as I sit on it. And right now you can see I'm pedaling. Stability looks good. Riding down the street. And as I make this turn, I'm doing it at a very slow speed because the material is very slippery and I don't want to slide laterally across the street. When I'm in this position, upright, it's very stable. This is a pedal forward townie bicycle, so it's a little bit different in that you push forward on the pedals, and so that keeps you in this type of seat fairly well. And you can see as I go by, it seems real stable at this point, and I like the ride. Well, here's some honest reviews on this. First of all, what I liked about it is it did protect my private area here, and I didn't feel any pressure on that. That was good. I felt fairly stable on it. That was good. The negatives, this material is too slippery, so I was getting some lateral slippage, and for some reason my back hurt. Even though there's a spring in here, I was getting quite a bit of shocks coming straight up. Of course, my last seat was like a trampoline. But the worst thing, and this is something I can't rectify, this mechanism here that I tightened down with an Allen bolt on these ridges worked perfectly with my old seat. I noticed it 3 out of 3 times that I used this seat. For some reason, while I'm traveling on it, and it's probably doing a lot of this loosens up and this begins to slide back and forth. So that is a killer as far as I'm concerned for using this seat. It's not safe. So even though I attempted to make an easy seat, this isn't going to do it. And I'm going to go ahead. I already purchased one that's called a Spongy Wonder. And it looks really good. The reviews are excellent on that, and I don't think I'll have any of these issues. Thank you for watching.